All right, listen up, y'all.
Greetings, everybody. This is another episode of All Things Education Official. This is your host and educator, Mr. Abdullah. I will be talking today about our Educator Spotlight. We'll be focusing on an educator of notoriety. But before we do all that, please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Once again, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Not necessarily in that order, but let it be known that we need you to do those things. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. So today we'll be focused on Dr. Umar Johnson, now known as Dr. Umar Ifatunde. Dr. Umar Ifatunde hails from the great city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. He actually is a graduate of 1992 graduate of Millersville University of Pennsylvania, where he graduated with 2 bachelors of arts and sciences in psychology and political science. And he graduated in 2012 from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine as a doctor of psychology. He has served as a principal and a school psychologist in his tenure. And I like to focus on him because he is focusing on some of the things that we know are problematic in our community. And one of them is the intentional failing of young Black males, particularly foundational Black American males. But as he is a Pan-Africanist, he speaks of Black males in general throughout the diaspora. His focus has been Black males in America. And let's talk about what he sees, and let's just hear from his own words what he thinks are a problem that's affecting young Black men.
I'm glad I did, because in becoming a school psych, I came face to face with how special ed and ADHD were being used as the major pieces of the school to prison pipeline. It is the school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline is special ed, because once you get put in special ed, you are not likely to graduate on grade level. And if a Black boy can't read by the time he finishes the 5th grade, there's an 85% chance that he will never learn how. What is the average reading level of Black men in prison? The average reading level of Black men in America's prisons, 3rd grade. Normally, members of the Black bourgeoisie, white folks don't mess with me too much either, because they know that I know my stuff. So it don't really come from white. It comes from gatekeeping Negroes. For example, your son is at a school with a Black principal. The Black principal is the reason your son got diagnosed with emotional disturbance in the first place. I'm telling you that your son was misdiagnosed. So you have to go to the Black principal who grew up in the same neighborhood your son come from and say, my son should have never been given this label. So now Dr. Umar got to fight the principal, because the principal just been exposed as a gatekeeper. Now let's be clear. This whole school to prison pipeline is maintained by Black folks. It's created by whites, but it's maintained by us.
From the Department of Education.
Most of the time I'm fighting, I don't fight white principals. They don't even bother to fight. Give him what he wants. I got to fight Negroes. They're the ones giving our children failing March. They're the ones suspending the kids every other day. They're the ones sending them to these juvenile delinquency centers.
As you can see, he's extremely passionate about what it is that we need to be doing for our young Black men. According to the Tennessean, in an article entitled Breaking the Cycle of Failure for Young Black Males, in a report called The Call for Change, the report shows that Black boys on average fall behind from their earliest years by the 4th grade. Only 12% of Black male students read at or above grade level, while 38% of white males do. That's a lot. That's crazy. By 8th grade, it falls to just 9% for Black males and 33% for whites. Black male students are almost twice as likely as white males to drop out of high school. And in some of our urban areas, the dropout rate is around 50%, while their SAT critical reasoning skills are 104 points lower on average. I'd like to just let it be known that that is not a bug. It is a feature in the modern educational system. It is not designed to help foundational Black Americans, in particular Black people in general, to succeed. It is made to help us stay as a permanent underclass. So he wants to definitely fight against those things. And I think that's very, very, very important. Let's talk about the things that he also fights against. He also understands that we are created in a system. We're pushed into a system where we are pushed into the prison system. That in itself is a money-making venture, and it helps to maintain a sense of order and control by the dominant society. By the year, according to the Pew Research studies, racial disparities persist in many U.S. jails. By the year 2000, Black people made up almost half of the state prison population. Although a wave of changes to sentencing and correction policies over the past 2 decades has helped lessen disparities in federal and state prisons, Black adults still were in prison in 2020 at 5 times the rate for white adults. The narrative coming from white supremacists is that The reason why that number persists is because culturally, we are just a degenerate culture. We are degenerate, and that is just who we are by nature. That is, of course, statistical data, and the term is statisticulation, where you take statistics to work in your favor. But we all know if you take the numbers out, it really doesn't matter. We know, truth be told, this is a concerted effort against the Black community, and he wants to work that out via the educational system. And how does he want to do that? Well, he has been working since 2014 to create the FDMG Academy. That is the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy for boys. His initial desire was to have a boarding school with all the amenities that are necessary to help our young men become great citizens, also to uplift the Black community. And what he's decided to fight against was not only the status quo, fight against oppressive systems, he has to actually fight against some of us in our own community. It says, now Johnson attempting to prove his naysayers wrong in a series of Instagram posts touting the FDMG Academy and listing several events scheduled to take place in the weeks leading up to when he said the school will open, and the school opening date in Wilmington, Delaware has now been slated at 2024-2025 school year. That's a great thing. I'm so happy that this is going to come to fruition. We have many, many intellectuals in our community, not enough builders.
Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, the idea had been with me since I was a psychologist with the School District of Philadelphia. The idea began to take form in 2014 when an associate of mine gave me a phone call and told me that the historic HBCU St. Paul's College was for sale in Lawrenceville, Virginia. He said they only want $2 million. I said, a whole HBCU for $2 million? 118 acres. I went down there, told them I need this school for our boys. The white people at Motley's auction in Richmond, Virginia. And they said, if you can get us $500,000 in about a month, we might could work with you. So we started a fundraiser. As soon as we started the fundraiser, my detractors attacked it. They called Motley, tried to disrupt the sale.
Once again, I'll say that again. We have tons of intellectuals, but not enough builders. And I'd like to highlight Dr. Umar Ifatunde for what he's doing. I am and was a staunch critic of Dr. Johnson. I have donated to his school. I've even sent out a resume saying that I would work at his school because I truly believe in his mission. I truly believe that we need to set up educational systems in particular for our community in order to get ourselves out of this situation of degradation and second-class citizenship. Once again, this is Mr. Abdullah. Please comment, subscribe, and share the video. Find someone that you know is interested in creating and building in our community. Patch them into Dr. Umar Johnson. I think what he's doing is a great thing because we definitely need it. Comment, subscribe, and share to All Things Education Official. Once again, you are dismissed.